So we're going to focus on finding all the points on the unit circle whose y value is 3/5. Now, the equation for the unit circle is right over here. X squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So if we want to find every point on the unit circle that has a y value of 3/5, well, we need to take that 3/5 and plug it in for y and find x values that coincide for it. Whatever x and y values we get for it will be the points on the unit circle. So we don't know what x is. We're going to solve for that. But we are going to plug in 3/5 for y. That's going to equal to 1. All right, so take the y value of 3/5, plug it in for y, and solve for x is what we need to do here. First things first, square x. Remember, when you square a fraction, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So 3 times 3 is 9, over 5 times 5 is 25. And I'm just going to drop down the rest of the equation. Since we are solving for x, we need to move our number over to the other side. So since that is a positive 9/5, I am going to subtract that 9/25, to each side so that it cancels on the left, and we get x squared is equal to negative 9 over 25 plus that 1 that we had there. We need to go ahead and add these two together here. So what I'm going to do is we need to get common denominators. And common denominators of 1 and 25 is 25. We can simply turn 1 into the correct fraction that we need by just putting it 25 over 25. Right, 25 is the denominator of our other fraction. 1 goes into that, and 1 does equal 25 over 25. So instead of putting the 1, I'm going to rewrite that as 25 over 25, just so that we can easily add these two fractions together. So that when we do that, remember when you add fractions, keep the common denominator. Negative 9 plus 25 here gives us a 16. So we want to go ahead and take the square root here, take the square root of the left side, which will cancel the square root and the square. X is equal to, well, when we take the square root of a fraction, sometimes we want to go ahead and divide the fraction and take the square root of what we get there. In this instance, though, the quotient rule for radicals says that we can split this up into the square root of the numerator over the square root of the denominator. That way we can take the square root of each one of these since they're perfect squares. Square root of 16 is a 4. Square root of 25 is a 5. But do remember that when we take a square root, that is plus or minus 4 plus or minus 5. So x is equal to plus or minus 4/5. Now, we were given that y is 3/5, and we got that x is plus or minus 4/5. What that means is we're going to have 2 points that are on the unit circle because we have 2 different x values. So one of our x values was the negative 4/5, and we're going to take that along with the y, the 3/5 that they gave us. That is our first point. But then we also got a positive 4/5 for one of our x values, and we're also going to be using the 3/5. So these following 2 points here, plus or minus 4/5, along with the 3/5, are the 2 points that lie on our unit circle when y is equal to 3/5.